On the wall here behind me is a series I call my disaster series. One of the areas I started to look at is 19th century medical textbooks when dissection became legalized and the profession was really starting to kind of chart the interior of the body, and they were using them to train doctors with. And the more I started to look at them, I started to realize that a lot of the images were very idealized. They didn't have inside any blood coming off of them. They were very pretty. They were very beautiful. The figures still had very beautiful hair on them. And so I was like, okay, this is an idealized representation. And I found that kind of fascinating. And at the same time, I thought, there's something missing from these. There's none of their memories are in there. None of their sort of, let's call it their cultural baggage, their own histories as people. And so I thought, wouldn't that be interesting if I had those illustrations and I inserted inside some kind of memory that was sort of lodged inside their bodies. So in this series, in bright colors, I've lodged in this idea of some kind of traumatic event. It could be a flood. It could be a riot of people, forming and sort of objecting, and it being sort of a cultural moment. So that's how it came to be called the Disaster Series, is this sort of interweaving of memory lodged inside of the body. It was a series that has traveled actually quite a bit across Canada and beyond. And it sort of is a series that's been very important to my wound care series that you're seeing on display here. So this is one of the presentations that you're going to see in the gallery. A mock version set up here at my studio to show you the kinds of works in the wound care series. By the way, you'll probably have noticed by now that in the exhibit is a lot of my collections of vintage medical trays, tables, devices that are used to put specimens in, glassware. I've had these tiles made to give it sort of a clinical look. And I've shipped it all with the work. Some is rusting to show that it's actually vintage and has some character and life to it. So on this particular medical tray, we have various specimens that have been wrapped, some with thick cotton, others with bandages. This one, for example, again, you've got a great cross-section here. These little glass vials make it look like perhaps it's just sort of a freshly dissected piece. Small little pieces like these ones, very small cross-sections, maybe of the wrist area. Others hung out to dry. Some put in Pyrex glassware. And then others have things like you've seen already, my collection of dissection instruments and kidney-shaped medical trays, wrapped, protected. So it's sort of this collection here where we see me being, quite creative, using my collection of medical books to different interesting ends.